shgiach yeshiva, you're sending them away like that. As the Rebbe once told me, the Rebbe once told me in Yechidus that the difference between a Lubav Shabbat and a Lubav Shabbat is that you go to release time. We also know that the only haflatza that happens during Seder is release time. All this obviously shows how Negeya release time is to the Rebbe. And as Hasidim, we have to try to do the most to make it also very Negeya to our lives. When you have a B'tzayvur, you try to make sure that whether there's rain, storm, sun, or breeze, to make sure you go. With the shurnik, to make sure you have enough money, because you feel that ask for B'tzayvur. The same Nekuda should also happen by release time. And this Nekuda is the Yesod for a few changes that are going to happen this year. If you look at the records of different public schools and release time, you see that most public schools had a year where they had 100 kids, or more than 100 kids, or 50 kids, 70 kids, and then it went down. Most schools had a year, different years, where they had a lot of kids. That only happened because of that year that a group of Bachrim, which were extremely giver together, and was negay after them, and they made sure that they had that amount of kids. They did whatever they did, whatever they can to get as much as possible kids to their release time. Actually, when Tashkent Vav, when Gazurka took over, only like 50 kids involved in release time. Then slowly over the years, came with 200. Then this is what Sayengel told me. 1 year there was a group of Bachrim, which made a huge shurif, and release time dropped to from 200 to 400 kids. And then over the past few years, it slowly went up again to 600. So we have to make sure that, again, this year, we are this shurif group that are going to increase release time to this huge amount of kids, especially this year Shnas Hakel, we should try to get as many kids as possible together. And as a lot of them are already saying, that this year we're going to definitely reach 5,776 kids. All this is only shy, and we are focused, and we care about it, and they get after us, and we try to do everything we can to get more kids involved. 1 year, when Chaim came to France, the Rebbe was there, and he heard that the Rebbe is going to Fabring. So right away to the Rebbe's Fabring. And the Rebbe says, I want to tell you about the greatness of my shver. The greatness of my shver is that he takes Yiddish Kindela out of public school and teaches them Torah. That's the greatness of my shver. Anyways, for whoever noticed, release time didn't officially start yet. This is a huge chiddush that release time didn't start yet. Usually, everybody knows that release time tries to take off the first week of school. This year, release time didn't officially take off yet. A lot of them didn't go yet. A lot of schools didn't start yet. And this is because of the same neguda that we said earlier. The office realized that the only way that release time is going to be successful is that the Bachrim take the achrayus themselves. And that's why, as soon as this particular school felt ready to start, and they were set up, that's when they're going to start. That's why until now, a lot of schools didn't start yet. Obviously, this Easter, you're already at 2 months, so probably most schools are already set up. And hopefully by this week, all the schools are going to go to release time. That was the first change that happened this year, that Rls didn't put pressure on everybody to start, but because they have the achrayus and they feel the gap to them, they're going to decide to start on their own when they are ready. Hopefully this week, all the schools are going to start. A second very, very big change is that until now, Rabbi Zerkin, wherever they found a yid, they right away said, Bachim there, 2 Bachim, 3 Bachim, there's only 2 kids. This year, their office is going, everybody together, everybody's sitting in this room, focus more on the schools which have a lot of yidden. There's schools which have 400 yidden, 300 yidden, 500 yidden, and focus as much as possible on those schools, send more money to those schools, build up those schools. But there's a huge potential to make those schools grow. After those schools are built up and there's extra staff in those schools, then those extra staffs can go to smaller schools and then build up the smaller schools. The main focus, in the beginning of the year at least, will be on the bigger schools. One of the most hatzlachat ways to have release time, and it's also one of the best ways to recruit, is that the program itself is a professional program, it's a student program, parents are happy, then the kids are happy. One of the problems a lot until now was the curriculum. That is also one of the things that hopefully we'll work on that we are working on this year. I don't know if everyone's familiar with the book, The Parsha Play, but in 2 or 3 weeks we're going to start working with the Parsha Play. The Parsha Play is a book that has for every single Parsha a couple arts and crafts, a couple games for different ages. The way it's going to work is that the week beforehand, let's say right now, Wednesday, Parshas Noach. So this Wednesday, we'll be giving out the papers for Parshas Lech Lecha. You would look at those papers, see which arts and crafts, which games you might want to do the next week, you choose, and hopefully the next week we'll be ready. It's not yet ready to start. It will hopefully start in 3 weeks. So that's a third thing. A fourth thing, which is extremely, extremely important, is being in touch with parents. And this also comes down to making it a professional program. When a kid doesn't come that week, which happens pretty often, almost at every school happens at least one, happens that one kid doesn't show up. Feeling well, it's a birthday party, his buddy came to visit. So right away call the family and ask, where was Daniel today? Therefore on Thursday, every Thursday, I'll go around to all the principals or the teachers, and I'll give a list with all the kids that didn't come that week, and try to make time in your schedule to call those parents. Better is even on the way back, you look at the list yourself, you see who was missing, on the way back you call. Actually one time, there was a kid missing in my release time, and I knew what the cause of his birthday. On the way back, we called, we sang happy birthday in the car. Till like 2-3 months afterwards, the kid was still speaking about it, the parents were happy, the kid was happy, it made a tremendous impact. Another idea, this is obviously up to you if you want to implement this, is to change the way most release times happen, that it's a class setting, to more of a rally setting. When release time started, it was like a school, let's say 100 Jewish children, and only 3 or 4 Bachim went. And they had a rally every single week, and Siddur Shabbos every single week. The mile of that is that it's more chayzik, you gather together, you sing songs together. It's camp style, you have bunks, you get points, you get prizes, whoever gets the most points at the end of the month. You work it out however you feel comfortable. Actually, I tried it last week, and it took off amazing. The kids are very, very involved. After they're counting with which bunk has more points, why does he get 2 points more, why does he get 4 points less. They're very, very involved. Still give me a name, I can call this Gang Stroll. Last week it took out very, very well. But the ikar is whatever works for you, whatever you find release time. If for you works better to have classes, then do classes. If for you works better to have a rally, then do a rally. But a rally is just an idea. Last year, Rabbi Shomber Hech was speaking by the lunch, and he mentioned about someone. I don't remember who it was, either Rabbi Feller or Rabbi Goldstein. He would go every week to release them. It's a car full of prizes. It would make it very exciting. It would be a whole cast of dust. Another nekuda is the money. Everybody always wants more money for prizes, for pizza parties, for curriculums, for arts and crafts, which is obviously very understandable, because only with money you can make the program a good program. Maybe that's not the only way, but it's definitely a very easy way. Until now, it was pretty tough, very tough to get money, and Rabbi Zirkin told me that he's planning on changing a little bit that mindset, but only with one condition. That you have to have a concrete plan why you want this money. I want this pizza party because I have nothing else to do this week, or because when I give this week a pizza party, then the next week, so and so and so and so. Or you come to Rabbi Zirkin, I want to work up to a pizza party. I want these groups to do, for the following weeks, to do this and this, and to do this, they'll get a pizza party, or they'll get an ice cream party, or we'll buy them a present, whatever it is. If you come with a plan, then I'm not going to say 100% the reserve is going to give. And, it might only go from 20% to 30%, but there's definitely a lot more chance. No, but it's more than 30%.
fundraise themselves. So I can do within Saturdays and Fridays.
Exactly. Another big change, this is the change that Rabbi Zirkin already mentioned when he introduced me in the past session, is how Rabbi Zirkin said very blunt, that you might have a hard time talking to me. This is how Rabbi Zirkin said it. Therefore he decided to put a middleman in between Rabbi Zirkin and everybody else. Therefore, whenever he had complaints, listen to all the complaints. It's not exactly the debate, but close to it. When you have a plan or whatever it is, and you want money for this, or you want the secretaries to do this, you want, I was thinking about secretaries, everybody always comes with kindness. Why can't the secretaries call the office, call the parents? Why do we have to do it? The truth is, none of the secretaries could do it. But there's a huge difference if you do it with the chayes, and you know the kid, you know the parent, and you care for the program, and if the secretaries do it, they call like secretaries. So it's a whole different approach, so therefore it's always better to do it yourself. But when you need money for a certain program, you need to get a certain message over to Rabbi Zirkin, or all those things, then you can obviously go direct through Rabbi Zirkin, and if that worked for you last year, you go ahead. But you can also come to me and discuss it with me, and I'll try to twist it in such a way that works for Rabbi Zirkin, or it works for the office, and then hopefully it will work out. Also, Cloud for discussing programs, ideas, or brainstorms, whatever. Even when you go to Rabbi Zirkin told me sometimes he'll send it directly to me. Also, Rabbi Zirkin asked me to every week choose 2 or 3 public school, release time schools. I'll go up to the principal and I'll see how things are going, discuss how many kids are there, what happened in the past, what can we do to make more kids come, etc. We might have meetings from time to time, but that will be announced beforehand. In very short, the few points that we discussed, the office is going to help to give more curriculum. Obviously, whatever the office is going to give is not going to work unless you put in your own ideas. The office will give you all the curriculums in the world. If the group itself doesn't put in their own ideas and doesn't try to see what works for them, whatever curriculum the office is going to give is never going to be enough. Whatever prize is going to give is not going to be enough. Because then you have to find out what works for you. Is it classes, is it a rally, is it making funny faces, or is it raps, is it the dancing, or is it singing, or is it saying stories, or is it... Everybody has their own way. I've spoken to different guys how to do their release time. Everybody in Mamish has their own way how to do release time. That is the most important thing. You find your own way how release time works for you, and then it will tackle work. That was the first thing. Being in touch with the parents. I'll give papers on Thursday. Come with a concrete plan, and hopefully you'll get the money, whatever you need for that. And me being the middleman between the office or the Zirkin and the rest. And so, yeah. If any good ideas, obviously please let me know. And hopefully we'll bring it out to Pedal Mamish. The thing is that through us putting ourselves into release time, because this is Mamish the main thing. If the release time, the only way release time could work is if you put yourself into it, not a 1 o'clock till 3 o'clock job in the afternoon, on Wednesday afternoon. If you put yourself to it and you care for it and you're negate and you take the clock and ice for it, that's the only way that release time is going to work, and we'll have 5,776 Bachman plus the country of Hakam. The big thing is that Hashem, the Gals of Mashiach, take that from Mamish.